Brother, sometimes divorce doesn't end when the papers are signed. Sometimes it doesn't end until she finally leaves you the hell alone. Some women, though, won't do that. My ex-wife recently showed up, banging on my door, screaming, yelling, threatening, and I'm going to share how I stopped her. You've survived divorce. You've gone through the hell of divorce, and you think to yourself, the war is finally over. I can breathe. I can start rebuilding my life. But the attacks keep coming even post-divorce. Have you been there? A knock on the door, and you're dragged right back into the same hell? You feel hunted. You feel pursued, harassed. She simply will not stop. My ex-wife recently showed up at my door, banging, screaming, yelling, threatening, making a scene. Here's what I did about it. A knock at your door. That is literally all it takes to pull you right back into her drama, her chaos, her storm. I got home from work one evening. It was about 6 p.m. The woman I date had met me at my place and we were going to have dinner. I'd gone into my room because I was going to get changed from work. I thought I heard something at my front door, so I went and looked through the peephole. I didn't see anything, didn't hear anything. Thought it was odd, but I just went back to my room to get changed. Then I heard banging on my door. I went to the door a second time, and I looked through the peephole. All I could see was what looked like a cell phone being held up to the peephole, so I could not see who was standing on the other side. I said through the door, "Who is it?" And that's when my ex-wife exploded. She started yelling and screaming, calling me names, threatening me. It was quite the scene. You know, your adrenaline kicks in. Have you ever had an experience like this with your ex? The adrenaline kicks in, the anger kicks in, fear. I mean, quite frankly, I didn't know what she was capable of. You have to keep in mind, too, we had been divorced for a year. We had not had any contact for 2 years. So what the hell was she doing showing up at my door, unannounced, acting like a raving lunatic? She went on for a good 10 minutes. And at one point, she even yelled through the door, "Coward, open the door and confront me." But see, guys, that's what she wanted. She wanted to pull me back into her drama. And this is what I want you to glean from the story. I never said a word. I never opened the door. I would not engage her. I knew what she was there for. She was there to pull me back into her chaos. I was not going to give that to her. In a moment, I'm going to share with you what went down in court. But first, I want to get into the long-term effects from your marriage and your divorce, PTSD. When you hear that term, PTSD, what comes to mind? What do you visualize? I bet it's of the soldier in combat on the front lines. He's got to face the enemy on a daily basis. He's under tremendous stress and strain, always having to stay aware, awake, wondering, when is the next attack by the enemy coming? It kind of sounds like what you may have gone through in your marriage and subsequent divorce. The knock on the door, the random text message, the random email that shows up, and you're right back there again in the thick of the battle with her. Then there's the humiliation of family court as you've had to go through that. In imbalanced child custody arrangements where she has primary custody and you barely get to see your children. Forced to pay exorbitant child support based on trumped up numbers. Parental alienation where you have little recourse if she's alienating your children from you. You've felt these things. If you have felt these things, it is a form of PTSD. The fear, the anxiety, the anger, the bitterness. I get it too. I went through it myself. And I can tell you, I spent a long time processing what I've been through and healing. And that's why I was able to handle the situation in a proper way when my ex-wife showed up, banging on my door, yelling and screaming. I didn't respond. I didn't open the door. I didn't lay down either. I called the police, and the next morning, I was down at the courthouse filing a restraining order on her. That's the way you handle it properly. How would you have responded in a situation like this? How have you responded in a situation like this if you've been in one? There was a time I would have jumped right into her drama. I would have jumped right into her chaos. Not anymore. I didn't react. I responded. I called the police. I filed a police report so it would be on record. The next morning, I was at the courthouse when it opened, filing papers to get a restraining order on her. By 2 p.m. that day, I had gone before a judge, shared my situation with the judge, and was awarded a temporary restraining order against her. She could not come within 100 yards of me. She had made a huge mistake. Now, it was on record with the state. As a domestic, this is something she will carry with her. And if she ever harasses me again, the consequences will be even more severe the next time. I gotta tell you though, walking through the courthouse again, going before a judge again, it brought back all those feelings: fear, bitterness, anger, anxiety. I wasn't even the one with the problem. She was. But all those memories of going to family court came rushing back. The real victory, though, here's the real victory in this situation. If you've ever been in a situation like this or are, it's how you respond. I didn't react. I called the police. I went before a judge. I got a restraining order. The victory is in how you handle this. The victory is in showing your ex this harassment will not be tolerated. So what do we learn from this story? What are some practical steps that you can implement as a man if your ex is harassing you? First and foremost, stay calm. Silence really is power in these situations. She wants your reaction. She wants you to get angry. She wants you to explode. Don't give that to her. Document everything. Text messages, emails, phone calls, video, whatever you have. Make sure everything is documented and you keep that documentation should you need it in court. Call the police. Don't just brush this off, man. Don't think to yourself, oh, she'll cool down. This is just an isolated incident. No. Every report that you file builds your case against her even stronger. Use the courts wisely. File immediately. I was down at the courthouse the next morning filing a restraining order against her. Protect yourself. Protect your space. Maybe you install new alarms, new cameras, whatever it is you need to do so you feel safe and secure in your home. Whatever it is you need to do to where she is not unable to take your peace away from you, especially in your own home. Focus. Focus forward. Do not let her live rent-free in your mind. That's what she wants. Put your focus back on your kids, your goals, what you're looking to attain in your life. That is where your focus needs to be. Stay composed through all of this and document everything. Incidentally, after we were done in court, I went out into the waiting room and she was actually there. Our eyes connected for a moment and she had this smirk on her face. I didn't react. I simply left the courtroom. For the next day or so, though, I thought to myself, what the hell was she smirking about? She had come to my home, harassed me. I had to call the police, and I had filed a restraining order in court. The state was now involved, and this was now on her record. So, what the hell was she smirking about? I've given that some thought, and you tell me if you agree with this in the comments below. The smirk was the fact that she was enjoying the drama. She was enjoying the chaos. It's what she wanted. Even though she had been called to court and she had been reprimanded by the state, the fact that she had inconvenienced me, I had to call the police, file a report, I had to come to court, take time out of my day. The fact that she had inconvenienced me, she was enjoying it. This is another reason why you don't react. You don't give that to your ex. It's what she wants. She wants the drama. She wants you pulled in, just like old times. Don't give that to her. Here's the message to the ex. You can pound on the door. You can yell, you can scream, you can cause a scene, you can try to create drama. The man that you once knew, he doesn't exist anymore. He is dead and buried. The man who was weak, the man who you tried to manipulate and gaslight, he's long gone. The new man will not be your prey. The new man will not tolerate drama and your harassment. The distance that was put between us when we split up is now backed up by the law. The broken man that you once knew has morphed into a strong, resilient man who has freedom. And that's something you will never take away from him again. Brother, if you've been through a similar experience, this is your message too. This is what you say to her. You will no longer hunt me. You will no longer treat me as your punching bag. You will no longer hurt me. You remind her through your calm indifference. You are irrelevant in my life. You have no place in my world ever again. You don't need revenge. Actually, the best revenge is indifference. Staying calm and showing her you're indifferent to her. She has no place in your life, and she never will again. She has no power over you anymore. You're free. Brother, you don't fight her chaos with chaos. You don't fight her on her terms. You fight her with composure, documentation, and acting wisely. For years, I lived in fear of my ex. When we were married, the fear stemmed from what could happen if we got divorced. It's no secret how men are treated in family courts. It's no secret the bias and the corruption against men and fathers. Once we were divorced, the fear stemmed from what was the next attack that was coming? What was she scheming this time? The way that I handled this harassment situation, though, shows the truth, and it's the truth for you as well. They have no power over you unless you give it to them. Don't let them live rent-free in your mind. Don't let them steal your peace. Haven't they taken enough from you? Resilient Man is about men advocating for men. It's about men helping each other in a society that sees us and treats us as disposable. You are not disposable. You have value. You have worth, and you have a future, but you're the one who's going to have to make it happen. Here's 2 other videos that will help you with more practical steps as well. Check these out. If this message resonated with you, subscribe. Share this with another guy who needs to hear this message as well. Keep rising, man. Know your worth. Protect your peace.